So 2020, MGTOW advice for young men. I have not dropped a video, an advice video yet for 2020. And like I promised before, I will make a video. For each year I will be making some kind of advice video. So my first advice is, by any means possible, try to retire early. Okay, if you're already working, if you're 18 and above, try to find a job. Okay, you're still young, and you can still manage to switch careers and try to find a job that will actually give you a pension, as opposed to a 401k. Okay, pension is better because it's going to be, you can get it before you retire. So pick careers, pick manly careers, pick masculine careers, so you wouldn't stress out as much. Okay, two is surround yourself. Tip number 2, surround yourself with positive people. That includes getting rid of the garbage. We should get rid of the mainstream idea that, you should be garbage in, garbage out. We no longer tolerate garbage. We no longer tolerate negativity, toxicity, demons. Okay, we must focus our efforts in bettering ourselves physically and internally, and that starts with becoming healthy. If you're gonna eat junk food, eat junk food once or twice a week. You don't have to do that. If you're too tempted to eat, junk food, try to minimize it. Okay, it's kind of hard to minimize it too, because you're living in America. Majority of our food out here is freaking garbage, loaded with chemicals and toxins and all kinds of things, phytoestrogens, xenoestrogens, and all kinds of things, trying to emasculate you. Try to bring in, take in as much positive as possible, then get rid of the negative, detoxify the negative, physically and mentally. So next tip is relationships. Relationships, you need to be on the MGTOW right now. It doesn't matter if you're black pill or red pill, you need to be on the MGTOW right now, because it's not going to get pretty. It's not going to get good. It's not going to get, better in 2020. Look at what's happening. Look at the way society is treating you. It's not just me. I'm not going crazy. Okay, it's not just me being treated like shit in America. It's you, man, going your own way. Simply by being a heterosexual man, society wants you to simp, wants you to worship women. That's what they want you to do. Okay, so I'm actually on your side. I'm trying to help you out as a 35-year-old man still living in United States in California. I'm using my best efforts to try to help you out in transitioning out of this country if possible, or to try to get you into business. Okay, the business sector, the producer side of the equation, as opposed to the consumer side of the equation. There's only two types of sectors in society. It's just the consumer sector and the producer sector, you know. The government is also a consumer sector because it's consuming things, it's collecting tax, okay? So, and it's also spending your tax, hard-earned tax money, okay? Aside from the military spending your tax money, it's the government too. So the next tip. Next tip is learn how to plan ahead of time, okay? A lot of people are like, you know, oh, YOLO, 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 YOLO. You only live once. Oh, you should just, you know, get drunk tonight. Oh, might not get tomorrow. Let's do it tonight. Just like that song say, you know. We need to stop thinking that way. You know, we need to think long term. Stop thinking like the simp, like the common simp. Oh, I'm just gonna put my money on savings. Blah 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 blah. I'm just gonna put my money on savings. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna look at precious metals. I'm not gonna look at crypto. I'm not gonna look at this and that. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna invest on anything. I'm just gonna throw my money in the bank. I'm just gonna work hard, work hard, work hard. Simp hard, work hard. That's a good way. That's a good way to get broke, man. That's a good way to get sedated and addicted to working. You just keep putting your money in the bank. It's not appreciating, man. Even if you put it on savings, how much does savings improve? You know, how much does savings appreciate? The most is like 2% or something. You're lucky if you get 2% in savings, okay, every year. I barely see anybody get 2% putting money on savings every year. So that's fucking bullshit, you know. You're better off, you know, opening a Robinhood account, buying and selling stocks, you know, using your intuition when the stock is gonna buy and when the stock is gonna be a good buy, when the stock is gonna be a good sell. Buy low and sell high. I made money that way too, man. I made money in Robinhood. Okay? I made videos before when my channel was Trinitrophenylnitramine, Truth and Reality. You know? And my third channel was a Site Your Own, but they deleted me, you know. Typical YouTube, man. Typical YouTube. Anti-truth. YouTube is anti-truth, man. I'm gonna repeat myself again. I'm gonna repeat what I just said in other videos. You know, my thing is, you know, if we follow logic, okay, we are following logic as men going our own way. The reason why we went our own way is because society or simp society's way didn't work, okay? What your dad told you to do didn't work, okay? It didn't work, so why do you keep doing it? You know, stop doing it and look the other way. Try my way. Try the way of Ben Travels. Try doing what I'm telling you to do. If it doesn't work, then look at something else. You know, maybe it's not for your situation, but I try to make my videos generalized so I can hit home, and you know, I can hit all kinds of situations that you might be in. You might be coming out of a divorce. Then it behooves you to actually save and to actually, you know, duke it out with the employment department and actually, you know, maybe rethink your options for a job. You know, maybe you have to sacrifice a little bit. Maybe you have to get another 9-to-5 simp job. Maybe you need to double your hours just to pay for the freaking alimony, you know, the child support. So see what I'm saying? So you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, you have to adjust yourself. You have to adapt yourself. So, you know, also, it's also, if you went your own way and you stayed single, that wouldn't have happened to you in the first place. And also, if it already happened to you, like many men in America, my personal suggestion is, you know, as a 35-year-old man who is also a veteran, you know, also worked in politics, you need to buckle up. You really need to buckle up if you're paying 18 years of alimony. That thing is no joke, man. I know a lot of men here in California personally working 2 jobs just to pay that, alimony. Okay? And the jobs here in California, especially in California, they're getting more and more scarce. Okay? The kind of jobs that they're throwing out here are just like mechanic jobs for men. Dude, mechanics don't get paid shit, man. They get paid like the most is like $15 an hour, unless they become a manager and it goes up a little bit, maybe $2 or $3, and then it becomes like 17 an hour, which will take you a while to get, because it's hyper competitive out here. Everybody's fucking mechanic out here, man. Especially where I live in California. Might be different in your situation, maybe tech kind of related or engineering related, but you see my point. We have to do what we have to do. Maybe it's not time for you to travel. Maybe it's time for you to buckle down. Buckle up and buckle down. Strap it down and focus and learn how to meditate. Learn to amuse yourself. My best advice to this is learn to amuse yourself with simple things. When I was in the military, whenever I get bored, whenever I'm on missions, whenever I'm deployed, I have a guitar, okay? As much as I am stressed out, I wasn't as stressed out as I was because I was playing the guitar, okay? That was my thing before. It's, I played the guitar a lot and I used it to de-stress and things like that. You gotta find an outlet. You gotta find a medium for you to use physically to, detoxify the stress, to get rid of that stress, because it stays with you, man. So the final advice, okay? The final advice is, when you finally decided to, just like me, you finally decided to get the hell up away from Western civilization, move to greener pastures overseas, move to a patriarchal country like the Philippines, okay? Once you've decided to move away overseas, you need to sell your shit. You need to get rid of your shit, Try to pack as light as possible. Try to get rid of the stuff that you don't really need, And even for me, sometimes it's kind of like parting with material things because they symbolize the hard work that I did, as an employee, as somebody who worked hard for his living, okay, for my salary and shit like that. It symbolizes victory. That's what it is. So what I do suggest you do, if you are actually transitioning out, or even just thinking about transitioning out, for you to even get extra money, learn how to sell, learn how to advertise shit in your used up things that are still good in Craigslist, in eBay, in Amazon, okay? If it's a high ticket item, put it on eBay to make the most out of it, make most money out of it. Here's a free tip. Here's a freebie that I'm gonna give you. Okay, read several books on this. I've tried this method, worked time and time again. Okay, list your high ticket item on eBay for a slightly cheaper price than what it is selling for. Watch the bids go like this. They're gonna go freaking crazy. They're gonna go absolutely nuts on that, man. Especially if it's electronics. If it's electronics, boom, that thing is like, people are crazy about electronics nowadays, man. So, especially teenagers nowadays. We have MGTOW now. We never had MGTOW before, so a lot of teenagers are just like pursuing more of their hobbies, That's why we have so much games right now. So anyway, and when you finally, when you're actually transitioning out, you're getting out, you need to resist the temptation of trying to socialize with so many people, Stop telling them so much about what you're gonna do. Stop telling them so much about your plans in the future, because they will discourage you, because they have a hive mind. I told you, majority in America, it doesn't matter what state you're in, they are already of the hive mind. They just conform, man. They don't think for themselves. They think as a unit, as one unit, okay? It's just like the beehive, okay? There is one queen and everybody else is a freaking worker. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, you know? When I say it is what it is, it's really what it is, man. I'm not making this up. Am I really making this up? You know, whenever I say, a lot of people, you know, they seem to be, you know, they try to make it seem like, oh, you know, I'm not of the hive mind. I'm independent thinker. I'm a free thinker. And when I challenge them as an INFJ, okay, as somebody who is a INFJ personality, a genuine INFJ personality, I challenge them on their, you know, on their thinking ability, and then their ability to, you know, think ahead of time and like actually intuit a lot of things. They're philosophical, they're, you know, they're meditative, they're spiritual abilities. They are still stuck on the material world, huh? Part of going your own way should be less materialism, okay? Less materialism, and actually, you know, sure you need to eat, you know, sure you need to eat, you need to sleep, you need a place to rent and, you know, a place to sleep. But you can't be caught up on the consumerism shit, you know? Because if you're caught up on the consumerism shit, that's just gonna take money off your savings. It's just gonna take money off, you know, of what you can use that money for something else. You know, so yeah, I do think that travel, I'm always emphasizing that, and I even changed the name of my channel to Travels, you know, Dan Travels. It really is therapy, man. It really is the game changer. It doesn't matter how depressed you are, it doesn't matter how freaking sad you are, you know, how broken you are from a relationship, how, you know, how damaged you are physically or mentally. Once you remove yourself out of the toxic environment, once you remove yourself from the main source of stress in your life, whether it's your toxic girlfriend, your toxic family, toxic brothers and sisters, you know, toxic mom, toxic dad, you know, toxic sons and daughters, or whatever, man. It's your toxic co-workers, your toxic boss. Man, once you've gotten out of that, your mind is kind of like, you know, your mind is gonna start thinking like, man, you know, so the source of stress is gone. So why am I mean, it's gonna take a while for your brain to adjust like this, but it's gonna take a while once you go overseas, you know, and it's gonna tell you, you know, your brain is gonna tell you, man, like, why am I still, you know, freaking out? You know, there's no need for me to freak out or to stress out. Why am I stressing out? You know, I don't need to stress out anymore because the main source of my stress is gone. So, you know, it's just like, you know, getting off of drugs, okay? You get addicted to the stress because you experience it on a daily basis and it makes you codependent, okay? That is their main game, to make you codependent, okay? They stress you out, okay? They stress you out, but not so stressed out that you die, okay? They stress you out just enough so you get pissed off, angry, or you get pissed off and get anxiety, okay? You either, you know, you withdraw. It's fight or flight, okay? You either withdraw, you either get anxiety from that, or depression, or you get aggressive. You know, you get aggressive and you get pissed off sometimes, and your brain starts to think like, man, it's, you know, I'm actually being scammed here. You know, you feel like you're being scammed, right? If you're in front of, you know, if you're dealing with a narcissist, a covert narcissist, an overt narcissist, you know, it doesn't matter what kind of narcissist, you feel like you're being taken advantage of, you know. It feels like you lost money on a bet or something like that. That's exactly how I feel whenever you know, I'm around somebody who's, you know, manipulative, covert, and trying to lead me on, trying to trick me into something, you know. And it's overall not good for the psyche. It's not good for your well-being. So no more of that. No more tolerating none of the negative shit, none of the negative people, the sheeple, the hive-minded majority, you know. After all, we went our own way. We went our own way. How can you not go your own way, you know? Majority is like trying to pull you in, trying to make you fail, you know. Trying to turn everything into a pissing contest as opposed to, you know, working in a team. They don't really want to work in a team. They just want to stunt. They want to brag about their small victories, you know, brag about their material possessions, which is something they will never bring with them when they die. Okay, bragging about how much money they got, bragging about how big the house is, bragging about how big the fucking salary is, but they're not really free. I am free. Okay, I'm getting the fuck out. So how can I not be free? Okay, logic. Okay, I'm getting the hell up out of America. I have an income, monthly income. I can live wherever the hell I want. I don't have to be in the Philippines. I can go to Indonesia. I can go to Saudi Arabia. I can go to Vegas. You know, I'm not gonna go to Vegas. It's still the United States. I can go to Micronesia. I can go to China, Japan. Okay. So, hope you like this video. Peace out.